Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Say it like that, right? What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. I hope you're doing well. I hope your New Year's Eve was wonderful. I hope your New Year's Day was even better. I hope you woke up with two hands, and if you blew your hand off on a firework, God bless you. You're another statistic, but don't let that stop you from becoming the first one-handed curler from your city. Now, it is 2026, and I personally have a little obsession with sci-fi movies. And ever since 2015, you find that you begin to watch films where, there'll be some spooky intro with green text. It'll be like, deep in the future, 2021. And you're sitting on the couch going, what? Hold up. Hold the fuck up. That was 5 years ago, man. That was 5 years ago. And you watch that movie and you go, none of that shit happened. 2026 is special because unlike other years where maybe one movie is set in, say, 2022, multiple movies are set in 2026. So I sat down and watched every movie set in 2026 to figure out what they got right and what they got wrong about the time we live in. Now, the movies I'm going to talk about today, they're going to hit a range of things that they got accurate. Sam, I ate orange chicken before this, and I'm sorry. The acid reflux is going crazy. I don't know why. By the way, everyone, I don't know if you all know this, but I want you to formally know this. Sam, my lovely editor, is Asian. And so I want everyone to just come together, look him in the eyes, and say, Sam, konnichiwa guankrodi, Happy New Year. That's how Sam told me to greet him. He said, when you greet me, you say, konnichiwa guankrodi.
Editor Sam. Yeah, I didn't say any of that. I don't know what he's talking about.
Shout out my guy, Kato. Did I say that right? Let me know in the comments. What the hell was I saying? Okay, these movies, they definitely got some things right about the current year. They definitely got some things right about 2026. There's some things they didn't get right. The biggest thing, no plastic surgery. Not one person inflated, not one person on Ozempic, not a single one. They did not predict vanity in that nature. Why? Because it was film and everyone was already hot. They chose hot people. So they didn't think in the script to be showing people getting skinnier, getting sexy, trying to lift their eyebrows up. They didn't show any of that. No Botox, nothing. So, also, no one betting on Polymarket. Not a single prediction market bet. No one bet on the United States attacking Venezuela. Not a single movie featured that. No black pill influencers. They didn't get that either. No clavicular. They did not get clavicular. By the way, I think they're going to turn that guy into a pharmaceutical drug. They're going to take his likeness. They're going to take all the features that he physically had to work for by taking meth and smashing his bones. They're going to come up with a miracle sexy pill for men. They're going to call it clavicular. And I think that's my big 2026 prediction. They're going to make a pharma drug called clavicular, and they're going to get men on that, on clinical trials by November. Not a single influencer in these movies. And by that, I mean casted. That's what made them better. No influencer had an acting role. I could actually sit through the movie and not be reminded about now. Because that's all modern media is. There's a person that you know from your phone that you have watched intimately for too many hours. And I'm not just speaking for myself. This is a tangent, but now when they cast people that are popular from online into films, I feel, just for me, that just reminds me of being on my phone. I don't think about the story. I just think about how many times I've seen that person on my phone, give or take. And that's how you know, folks. I got a little bit of that. Just a little shade of that. Schmism. Shade of that. Schmism. The Spurgers. I got a shade of it. Anyways. Hey, I'm going back out on the road. Just a few dates. I'm starting in my favorite place, St. Louis. Then I'm going to Louisville. And then I'm going to Des Moines. Buy your tickets now at noelmillerlive.com. Another missed mark for these films. No cryptocurrency. None of them, things in that likeness, but not cryptocurrency. And they did not have any mention of the Diamond Gym in New Jersey. No celebrity or online content creator visiting the Diamond Gym, doing 700 cable pull downs, literally shattering the muscle fibers in their triceps to prove they survived. None of that. One of these movies got a lot right in a surprising way. But before I get to that one, I have to start with probably, because if these are crystal balls, right, that look into the future, we will label the last film I'm going to review as a sharp crystal ball, a real glance into the future. But this film I'm about to talk about now is a neon orange 10-pound bowling ball from Bolero in St. Louis, Missouri, as far as a vision into the future. But it has some redeeming qualities. This movie is none other than Doom. Not Doom, not the one with the cool popcorn bucket. Doom, based on the video game. But this film features The Rock, and it's sick because it cost $60 million to make this movie, and $59 million of it went to The Rock, and about 10 grand of it went to props budget. It got some horrendous props in this movie, dog. I'm talking dismembered arms that you get from Party City, straight from the shelf, no paint, just that one. I think they poured Mountain Dew on the end of it for sticky texture, but some real not fucking trying. That's the way I'll say it. All right. They took a single high school science class skeleton with muscle fibers, and they tore it into pieces and put them in jars of water. The clarity on some of these supposed science experiments going on in this movie, there are student films doing better than this from 1940. It's not trying on a different level. Just in that area, there's some other parts too. The Rock was definitely trying to act. His ass was. He was locking it in. Anyways, in the context of Doom, 2026 is a year that archaeologists go to Nevada and they start a project. And that project leads them to a portal that opens up to Mars. On Mars, they continue to dig deeper because the modern people in the world of Doom, when they opened up a portal in Nevada, they go, that's fine. We'll just keep working. We'll just keep digging, man. What's through there? We're going to keep going. They continue digging on Mars, and they find a lady in the fetal position holding her baby, like some Pompeii shit. Shout out to Hunter. Rating Pompeii poses. Oh, that thumbnail is always so ridiculous to me. Anyways, she's doing the Pompeii referee, NFL referee motion onto her baby beneath the dirt on Mars. They dig that bitch out in a non-gender way, just, objectively. They dig that bitch out with the baby, and they start to analyze her bones. Now, here is a crazy part of the Doom lore for the film, all right? These people that allegedly lived in this society on Mars were free of disease. They were immune to disease, so it seemed. And the way they were able to do this was with an extra chromosome. It's just a script. All right, it's just a script. This extra chromosome gave some people benefits, but for a lot of people, it gave them mutations. It would make them super strong. Be an adult. That was a fake out. Be an adult. Be respectful.
That he's been making them at night. I know he is.
It made them super strong. Some of them, it gave them skin mutations, so it would multiply their skin cells and make them look crazy. Now, what this would lead to is these mutated people with this extra chromosome, and that's just the script. Okay. These mutated people with the extra chromosome, they would start to attack others. They were overcome with this desire to infect others. That's what they were doing. And they were choosing people that were subject to mental illness or psychoactivity. So this film is basically about the woke mind virus, more or less. And what you get out of that is 2 hours of The Rock trying to shoot down the woke mind virus, if you're into that kind of thing. Upon discovering this extra chromosome and its benefits, they started doing genetic experiments with what they called C24, okay, the woke mind virus. And that caused people to experience the mutations and start to infect other people, which is why eventually, 20 years later, they had to call The Rock and his boys to come through and just air the place out. Now, as I understand it, that would mean this portal would allow free passage of all those with the extra chromosome to make their way to Nevada, which would explain a lot. But in the context of the Doom film, that doesn't actually happen. They're all mostly dead or contained on Mars. Now, I will say the most modern aspect of this movie is not really anything to do with society. It's the dialogue. Whoever wrote this movie, God bless you. I mean, you got away with robbery. You pulled a fast one on the studio. Thank God you got that script sold before ChatGPT, because this is a movie where actually I think ChatGPT could write it in ChatGPT's current form. Man, characters announcing everything, literally everything. I'm not going to hurt you. We need to evacuate. We have a serious infection. Everyone needs to evacuate now. Hi, I'm The Rock, and this is the beginning of the movie, and I'm going to tell you exactly where all the characters go in anticipation of the monsters that are about to pop up. Please enjoy. Everything about the film is all that dialogue is mad vague too. It's so brutal, dude. And even though I'm talking shit, I'm actually kind of being serious, because this script is modern in that it spells out everything that's happening, which, as you know, I've talked a lot about. Is very common at streamers now. You know, they're all instructed to write these passive scripts, passive listening scripts, because no one knows if you're actually watching the movie or the film anymore, or the TV show. They don't know if you're screen maxing or if you're 100% eyes on the ball. So Doom, this film, I actually think could be remarketed and put at the forefront of Netflix. I think it would do Stranger Things numbers. I think it would beat Stranger Things, honestly. The writing is the same quality. The plot makes about the same amount of sense. It's actually the same fucking show as I'm saying this out loud. Some ugly shit comes through a portal and it wants to infect everybody. Stranger Things. Now, obviously, The Rock going through a portal and shooting up a bunch of demonic Mesopotamians is not necessarily true to now, right? It's a very U.S. military thing to do, but that's not what's happening currently. But you know what film is set in 2026 and actually does, I think, relate more to us now, weirdly, is Dawn of Planet of the Apes. Now, I assume all of you have seen this movie, but if you haven't, I'll go ahead and read Wikipedia for you. In 2026, 10 years after a deadly simian flu pandemic wiped out humanity, humans are nearly extinct, with only about 1 in 500, 0.2%, genetically immune. Human civilization was destroyed after societal collapse among humans. The apes, all bestowed with genetically enhanced intelligence by the virus, established a colony in the Muir Woods National Monument near San Francisco, led by Caesar, along with his lieutenants Maurice, Rocket, and Koba. Ape. Koba. I can do a pretty good Caesar. Koba. A group of humans led by Malcolm, what a name, Malcolm, unknowingly enter the apes' territory, searching for a hydroelectric dam that would restore power to their community in the ruined city. Carver, a member of Malcolm's group, injures Ash, Rocket's young son, in fear. Malcolm manages to prevent further escalation. And that's how you know in a movie when a white dude has a lot of power, all right? And it's that's when you know a white dude in a film has a lot of power, when some chaotic thing is happening and they stand up and they go, "Just let me talk to him. Hold on, just let me talk to him." Wait a second. Just let me talk to him. That's when you know racism is about to end. Some beautiful instance of people coming together is about to happen. Because Malcolm walks up to intelligent apes and goes, yo, I am not here to turn up or no shit like that. Swear down, bro. I'm just here because my people need like the lights on and shit. And like, you feel me? And like, if I could just like get in there, I'll just swear we'll keep it cool, keep it low key, like no bullshit. Like we're just gonna be there, just like building and shit, right? Like I'm just trying to take care of my people. So if you let me up in there and we'll just work, like we'll be totally out of your way. We just like want to get the lights back on and shit. You know what I'm saying? And Caesar's looking back like, light. And Malcolm looks back. Yeah, exactly. The lights and shit. And as I was watching these scenes, I couldn't help but feel this, thinly veiled metaphor for AI data centers. That is where my brain went. So I need to get the fuck off my phone. But in my defense, 2026, huh? Yeah, I just feel like a weird parallel, Some dude seeming, unassuming and vulnerable. Oh, hey, man, I'm just a small guy. Let me use all the power in the city. Hey, man, I don't mean any harm. Let me use your hydroelectric dam. When I say let me, I'm saying give it to me. And it's not a request. It's a statement. I'm going to. No, Malcolm's not that crazy. He walks up and he's definitely, he acts like a little bitch about it. Caesar, could I please use the hydroelectric dam so we turn the toaster on? But I see why, the apes, they own the shit. They own everything. He kind of showed the bitch-assness of humans. As soon as we lost a little bit of control, it's like, wait, no. Don't hurt me, gang. Come on, man. I just want the lights on and a toaster, low key. Let me get up in the hydroelectric dam real quick, yeah? Come on, man. Hook me up, player. Also, in my defense, I was thinking about AI data centers because this movie does take place in 2026 in San Francisco, and I couldn't not see Malcolm as just like a optimistic tech founder. Just looking like he's got a hole in his head. Hi. I would love to use your hydroelectric dam so that me and my family could upload ourselves into a server rack and live forever. I also did wonder, like, watching this movie, is this how Peter Thiel sees the rest of us? Like, does he just see us like animals that gained a little bit of agency and we're all just fighting each other and we can't get along? That's what Dawn of Planet of the Apes is. It's Peter Thiel's simulator. Just like the real world. Every last one of them. Animals. And now I must pause the action to thank another sponsor of today's video, because it's technically a podcast. I want to take a break to talk about an all-new series streaming January 15th on Paramount Plus, Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Starfleet Academy follows a new class of bold, ambitious, and at times unfiltered cadets as they navigate friendships, rivalries, first loves, and the pressure of becoming the next generation of officers. But when a mysterious enemy threatens the Academy and the Federation, they must rise to the challenge or risk losing everything. I love some sci-fi. And I've always known about Star Trek. It is one of the giants of the genre. Somehow, I never fully dove in, but Star Trek Starfleet Academy might be the one that hooks me. If you've ever been curious about Star Trek, this is the perfect place to jump in. What better way to start than where all Star Trek characters begin their journey? Starfleet Academy is the perfect blend of college life meets Star Trek, set in a San Francisco of the future. You remember your first year of college? I do. Now imagine that, but while you're training to carry the weight of the future. Starring Stephen Colbert, Holly Hunter, Paul Giamatti and Tig Notaro, there has truly never been a better time to enroll in the Star Trek universe. Check out Star Trek Starfleet Academy streaming January 15th exclusively on Paramount+. The most modern and relatable part of Dawn of Planet of the Apes is the pandemic aspect. The last year we were all alive, We just been killing time. We're all dead and we're living in that little bit of DMT that is just slow dripping into our brains. We're at the last gram of it. But the movie that I hold as the crystal ball, like the one that actually looked into the future, is the film Metropolis. Now, if you went to film school, you were forced to watch this and write some kind of essay on it. I'm cool. I'm a hip teenager. I didn't have to do that. I'm 16. I've never gone to college. College is whack. I'm making my money through crypto and phone scams, boiler room shit, dog, just straight getting people to fuck their lives up so I can buy a car. You know what it is. So I don't have to watch Metropolis as a film student. Metropolis was directed by Fritz Lang. He's a German director, and he made this movie in 1927, I believe. It was based on a novel, and this dude was actually approached by the Third Reich themselves. Now, Fritz Lang supposedly was approached by the Austrian painter's right-hand man, Joseph Goebbels. And if I'm saying that wrong, I don't give a fuck. But he was approached by him to make state media, I believe. And Fritz Lang said, I'm good, bruh. Matter of fact, I'm good and I'm leaving. And thank God, because this type of vision should not be behind state media or propaganda. It would be too, because every modern idiot would be like, damn, aesthetic, like, fuck. Just can't deal with that, man. The plot to Metropolis is that the future is ran by wealthy industrialists and business magnates, and their top employees rule over the city of Metropolis from skyscrapers. Yes, I'm reading Wikipedia, but I'm paraphrasing. Meanwhile, underground workers are the ones that they work on large machines that power all these massive skyscrapers. Now, the city's master, Joe Fredersen, he has a son named Freder, which is fucked up. It's fucked up when parents do that. Hey, man, I'm gonna name you part of our last name because I own you, bitch. You are Freder Fredersen. How about that? Whatever the Jags coach says. How does that feel? Freder is he's a trust fund baby. He's daddy's money. He's the son of the ruler. He doesn't do shit. He hangs out in something called the Pleasure Garden at the Club of Sons, I believe. That exact context is not so important. He's living his regular life in the Pleasure Garden for Nepo babies when suddenly a woman named Maria appears with a group of workers' children, a bunch of dirty, stinky children that belong to the laborers of their world. She emerges in this garden through it's either a stairwell or an elevator, and she makes a proclamation. These are your brothers. These stinky kids are your brothers. Now, naturally, everyone working in the skyscraper rich people club goes, get your fucking stinky asses back in the elevator and go back down. Go down, you nasty, smelly people. And they send them down the elevator back to work. But Freder Fredersen is so moved by this moment, he goes, what the fuck was that? What the fuck did I just see? That was fucked up. I need her. He encounters a hallway. It's with a bunch of machines, and he sees an explosion, and it kills a bunch of people. And for a moment, he hallucinates that the machine is a temple of Moloch, and the workers are being fed to it. And then the hallucination ends, and he sees a bunch of dead workers being carried away on stretchers. And so he goes to Daddy, and he says, Daddy, People are dying down there. And his dad's like, well, fucking, how do you think we have nice things, son? How do you think we have nice things? So what follows is this story of Freder Fredersen going down back into the underworld, switching places with one of the workers. He literally just walks up to a guy and goes, hey, man, Uno, reverse the clothes. Put that shit on me, you put this on you. He lives down there and subsequently encounters the woman he saw at the beginning of the film, Maria. Okay, he sees Maria, and she's preaching in a literal church deep in the catacombs of the underworld about peace and how a mediator, that's what she describes as, like a prophet. She says a mediator will come to mediate the connection between hands and mind. And, you know, it goes into the story about the Tower of Babel and all this other beautiful shit. Now, what am I getting to? After Freder goes to Daddy, he goes, Daddy, we gotta stop. A gentleman by the name of Grot, G-R-O-T, which is so close to Grok. Shout out to Fritz Lang, you were right there. Grot is the foreman of the Heart Machine, and he brings Daddy Fredersen, okay, ruler of the city, 2 maps found in the dead workers' pockets. Daddy Fredersen fires his assistant, Josephat, crazy-ass name, for not bringing him details about this explosion beforehand, neither the maps. And baby Fredersen is upset by his father not seeming to care about, people dying, and so he conspires to go back into the underworld to help them escape, essentially to maybe make their lives better or overcome their situation. While he's doing that, Daddy Fredersen, a leader of the free world, he consults an inventor whose name is Rotwang. And if that isn't the name of a channel, I might just have to name this channel Rotwang, or I might have to start a second channel called Rotwang because it's too good. It's too fucking good. Daddy Fredersen takes this map to Rotwang, this inventor, who is a sick person. I'm going to read you some shit about Rotwang, and this is where the movie starts to feel really, really modern, okay? Rotwang fell in love with a lady named Hel. Hel left him for Daddy Fredersen to eventually give birth to Freder. Rotwang was keeping Hel's dead body in his lab, and he shows Daddy Fredersen a robot and says, hey, bro, I was building this to resurrect your dead lady. When you said I couldn't take your lady, I made a promise to myself, I'm going to take her from you. Dead or alive, your girl is mine. Rebuilding a dead girl for yourself to me, feels very modern to now. He builds this machine, and of course, an inventor reconstructs humanity by way of a robot. And what does he make it? He makes it a lady that he definitely wants to have sex with, because that's all humans do. They make robots and they just want to fuck them. I don't know why. That's just all they want to do. He makes this robot, but Daddy Fredersen says no. Use this robot to look like the girl Maria, and I want you to get in the way of her plans, helping these people rise up. And I want you to use this robot version of her to just basically destroy the connection that my son thinks he has with this lady. I don't want to deal with this shit. I want my city the way it is. And I want you to use this robot to make everything stay the same. Now, the story carries on where obviously Rotwang, he's got the intention to not do that, right? He sets the robot up to work in his favor, destroy society. I'm paraphrasing a bit because the exact nuance of the story, I want to leave some meat on the bone if you ever decide to chew it. But I want to get to what's modern about this story. Okay, the first thing is this dance right here. I can see this in Fortnite. I can see teachers complaining about this dance. I can see my niece doing this dance. Super modern. The other obvious modern part is the use of technology and how this technology is used to essentially control people. It's converted into something that looks familiar, Maria. It's placed in front of a disgruntled group, the people below, and it gets them to rise up. It gets them to the point of their own detriment, because the cloned robotic Maria actually gets all the underworld workers to rise up and revolt. All of that pent-up anger of their living conditions was uncorked by a third-party actor, all because this machine looked like one of them, obviously. The other obvious aspect is this rich guy uses this robot for his vision of the world. He uses technology to make things the way he wants it and the way he likes it. He's willing to sacrifice his son's own interests. You know, his son's love interest is not important to him. He doesn't even sit down and say, bro, that's cool. You like this regular girl. That's fine. You don't have to marry a regular girl, but don't get into politics, okay? All right, just have a family and shut the fuck up. He doesn't even do that. He goes to a psycho that wants to resurrect his dead wife as a robot, and he goes, yeah, whatever. Don't do that. Do that later. Just make her my son's girlfriend and fuck his shit for a minute, would you? All right, just handle that, and then it's yours. And now I must take a break to thank a sponsor of today's video, because it is technically a podcast. And if you'd like to support me ad-free, you can do that at teamgstudios.tv. 2026 is the year you can launch your business. The year you transform into an entrepreneur, founder, boss. One powerful move puts your future firmly in your hands. Starting a business with Shopify. Maybe you've got an idea you can't shake, a craft everyone tells you to sell, a store you've already designed in your head. With Shopify, 2026 is where you can finally make it happen. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap, from household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. Setup is fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines and help you edit product photos. Marketing is built in too. Create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. As you grow, Shopify grows with you. Handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting, start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/companylot. Go to shopify.com/companylot. That's shopify.com/companylot. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side. Is very modern, technologist, techno-industrialist, techno-fuelist, whatever you want to call it, to use a robot to just bend the will of the people around himself so he can just sit in a tall building and keep things the way he likes it. Also, the acting in this film, it stands out. I learned that the way these people act in the film is very like Charlie Chaplin shit, and I guess that style was not relevant at that time, and Fritz directed them in that way to I guess get the point across that he believed if people were to actually live underground, it would cause them to act differently from a normal person. I only bring that up because the acting in this film honestly looks a little bit like when people film TikToks in like 2X. Well, they're fucking mocking millennials and shit. That genuinely is how some of this footage looks. Now, if you hear my bones cracking, that's because this one is a reach, but hear me out. This movie, it didn't do well when it came out because it was considered too long, and they hacked it up to like make it shorter because theater owners said, it's too much for the average person. It's got to be shorter. So even, but they were talking about going from like almost a 3-hour film to an hour and change or something. So when you watch this movie, there's a bunch of footage that was previously lost that they managed to get their hands on to complete it. But I thought there was something, kind of modern about a movie that was telling about robots in the future, and I don't know, like a capitalist wanting to control everything around him, and that film needed to be hacked down because people wouldn't have the attention span for it. Maybe it's too loose. Maybe, hey, whatever. I tried. Also, shout out to Fritz Lang for not killing anyone making this movie. He used thousands of people, literally thousands of people. He almost gave children hypothermia for one of the scenes, but, films in this era, directors just have at it. KD, irrelevant. I'll kill 40 extras right now if we can get this shot of Noah's Ark. Fuck off, all right? What's also really wild is the cinematography in many aspects is very modern. I think that's the part that was crazy, is this is a person in 1927 who genuinely was ahead of his time in a lot of ways, just with his cinematic choices. And that was a little bit creepy to me, that I could watch some of this and I could envision some of these shots being in modern media. Granted, this movie did influence a fuck ton of people, and you see it clear as day. If you know the list. Actually, Sam, make sure you list everyone that was whatever. So that's also probably why it feels familiar, because people have drawn from this throughout, very, very large media careers. But that said, even though I may have seen a remixed version of what he's done, the original definitely has some pretty crazy elements. Now, I did watch some of this movie on 1.5x. I'm not going to sit here and say I endured all that silent film acting in the way it was intended. I mean, some of it's just all right, man, I get it. Y'all are talking. All that to say, while these films are definitely in different parts of the spectrum in terms of, cinema, they all kind of carry, at least to me, a thread where shit is burning down, there is unrest or destruction, there is a group that's trying to overcome, and there's something, there's a third agent in the mix that is subverting everyone's expectations, and it's just fucking things up, whether it's a pandemic or this robot. It's presenting people in very vulnerable states of mind, and I do feel that aspect is very relevant to the current year, man. But that's not going to stop us from having fun. Anyways, gang, I watched those movies, so you don't have to. But now it would be the part where, even though I told you you don't have to, I would encourage you watch Metropolis on 1.5x. Just, I don't know, while you're knocking some shit out, just have it on the second monitor, man. If you're if you're a film person, you've probably seen it already, but you've never seen it. Fire it up, give it a look. I think it'll kind of fuck you up. How you're kind of oh wow, yeah, damn, some of that applies. Doom. I take that back. Doom is the best film on this list. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.